So we've got some major breaking news, Justin. Donald Trump has officially fired Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. This is a major development that comes after Noem's disastrous hearings in front of Congress over the past few days, where she was ripped apart not only by Democrats, but by Republicans as well. My name is Brett Meiselas with the Midas Touch Network. Remember to hit subscribe now and help us get to 7 million subscribers. So Trump says that he is replacing Noem with Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin, effective March 31st, and he's now spinning Noem's exit as Noem moving to be a special envoy role for some new project he's calling the Shield of the Americas. But make no mistake, Kristi Noem has been fired. After a disastrous Senate hearing this week where even Republicans turned on her, Noem became too radioactive to keep. Here's Trump's post. He just wrote, quote, "I am pleased to announce that the highly respected United States Senator from the great state of Oklahoma, Markwayne Mullin, will become the United States Secretary of Homeland Security effective March 31st, 2026. The current Secretary, Kristi Noem, who has served us well, has had numerous and spectacular results, especially on the border, will be moving to be Special Envoy for the Shield of the Americas, our new security initiative in the Western Hemisphere we are announcing on Saturday in Doral, Florida. I thank Kristi for her service at Homeland, serving 10 years in the United States House of Representatives and 3 in the Senate. Markwayne has done a tremendous job representing the wonderful people of Oklahoma, where I won all 77 out of 77 counties in 2016, 2020, and 24, a MAGA warrior, blah, 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 blah. I think you get it right there. Now, Noem's position collapsed quickly after she made what was considered a cardinal sin during her Senate hearing the other day. She had told Republican Senator Kennedy that it was Trump's idea for her to do this $200 million ad campaign that she starred in. Trump, it seems, felt like Noem was blaming him, and he claimed that he had nothing to do with that campaign. Here's a post from Fox correspondent Bill Mulligan. This is from before the firing, and he says the following. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem is now treading in some dangerous waters. She testified in the Senate this week that President Trump approved of and was aware of a $200 million ad campaign that featured her prominently. Trump now tells Reuters in a phone call he did not sign off on it. Quote, "I never knew anything about it," Trump said. So that is what reportedly did it. It wasn't her horrific handling of natural disasters or her out-of-control use of ICE and Border Patrol, which resulted in the deaths of multiple Americans, but rather her blaming Trump for a massive ad campaign. So let's dive into the clips that ended Kristi Noem's career. Here was Senator Kennedy grilling Noem on the $220 million worth of commercials she made that featured her prominently. Play the clip.
How do you square that concern for waste, which I share, with the fact that you have spent $220 million running television advertisements that feature you prominently?
Sir, the president tasked me with getting the message out to the country and to other countries where we were seeing the invasion come from, with putting commercials out that told them that if they were in this country illegally, that they needed to leave, or we would detain them and remove them, and they'd not get the chance to come back to America the right way. That has been extremely effective.
Ask you to run these advertisements, is that right?
We had that conversation, yes, before I was put in this position and sworn in and confirmed, and since then as well.
Okay. Did you bid out those service contracts?
Yes, they did. They went out to a competitive bid, and career officials at the department chose who would do those advertising commercials.
And the people that you ended up picking were people who had formerly done your political work back in South Dakota. Is that right?
No, that's not correct, sir.
I think it is.
No, it's not, sir. The individuals who, I believe the careers who they chose were 2 different media firms. There's been conversation about their subcontractors, but we have no legal authority to look into subcontractors on work like that.
Okay. And you're saying that you're testifying that President Trump approved this ahead of time. Is that my understanding?
We had conversations about making sure that we were telling people.
No, ma'am. I'm asking you, sorry to interrupt, but the president approved ahead of time you spending $220 million running TV ads across the country in which you are featured prominently.
Yes, sir. We went through the legal processes, did it correctly,
Did the president know
worked with
you were going to do
OMB.
this?
Yes.
He did?
Yes.
Okay.
And one thing, Senator, I think would be helpful to know is how effective that communications has been. That
Well, they were
overwhelmingly
effective in your name recognition. I mean, I personally just, I mean, to me, it puts the president in a terribly awkward spot. And I'm not saying you're not telling the truth. It's just hard for me to believe, knowing the president, as I do, that you said, Mr. President, here's some ads I've cut and I'm going to spend $220 million running them, that he would have agreed to that. I don't think Russ Vogt at OMB would have agreed to that. It's something we have to defend. I'm on the Appropriations Committee. My research shows that you did not bid them out, that you pick, in fact, one of the people you picked, the strategy group, Safe America Media was a company formed 11 days before you picked them, and that the strategy group got most of the money, and the head of that is married to your former spokesperson. Look, we all have friends who are qualified. I'm not quibbling with that. It troubles me. A fifth to a quarter of $1 billion of taxpayer money when we're scratching for every penny and we're fighting over rescission packages. I just can't agree with Madam Secretary. Are you still running those ads?
No, Senator, I did not have anything to do with picking those contractors. No politicals at the Department of Homeland Security did.
I understand. Are you
Career
still running
officials
those
followed
ads?
the competitive bid process for
Are you
that.
still running
Everything
those
was,
ads?
I think the ads are due to end here in March, I think within a week or
So
two.
they
I'm
are
not sure of the
still running?
update. The one that is running is focusing on angel families. Have you seen that? It is the one that's talking about this is our why. This is why we work every day.
Okay.
Is for the angel
I've gotta
families
move
and their
on.
victims.
And that was just the tip of the iceberg. Here was Republican Senator Tom Tillis calling Noem a disaster, highlighting the innocent Americans being detained by ICE. Play the clip.
Security. So why am I disappointed with Secretary Noem? Because we're not going after enough people who did this damage at the expense of running numbers that Stephen Miller wants out of the White House. We just want numbers. We want 1,000 a day, 6,000 a day, 9,000 a day, because numbers matter, right? No, they don't matter. Quality matters, not quantity, quality. And what we've seen is a disaster. Under your leadership, Ms. Noem, a disaster. What we've seen is innocent people getting detained that turn out are American citizens. I could talk about the culture that's been created here with Stephen Miller aiding and abetting. I heard first reports that he was the one that said it was a domestic terrorist situation where 2 people lost their lives in Minneapolis. I've heard that report. Maybe you can refute it. I don't know that we'll have time for you to respond because I'm giving you a performance evaluation here. I'm not looking for a response.
Now let's go through some other moments. Here's Democratic Representative Eric Swalwell asking Noem if anyone has been fired for the agency's failures. Play this.
Tell me then, has a single ICE agent or CBP officer been disciplined since you've been Secretary of Homeland Security? As we've seen women dragged through their streets by their hair and thrown into unmarked cars, people chased through the fields and factories where they work, public executions happening in our streets. Has a single ICE agent or CBP officer been disciplined?
Yes, they have.
How many?
I don't know the number. I can get that for you if
Do you
you'd
think
like
that number
me
is
to.
important?
I think that it's wise and smart, and what we're doing is accurate according to the law by doing those internal investigations through the process that's set up. There's an Office of Professional Responsibility that does the investigation, and decisions are brought before the National Use of Force Board, and they review each incident as objectively outside of that law enforcement encounter and then give a decision for
Has
it.
anyone been fired? Has anyone lost their job?
There could be.
Well, I'm not asking if it could be. I'm asking, has anyone been fired?
I'm certain that they have. That happens once in a while when there is a need for someone to be
For conduct related to enforcement actions.
We hold our law enforcement